Hey everyone, this is Rachel, and today I'm here with a new scrapbooking process video. Thanks so much for joining me here, and I hope you enjoy. If you could flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome, and I would love it if you would become a subscriber. You can also click on the notification bell so you always know when I have a new video up. Alright folks, let's get going! Hey everyone, and welcome to Stash Bash with Rachel and Kelly, the monthly series Kelly O'Black and I do, trying to really get into our stashes and work with stuff that we already own rather than buying new stuff, even though buying new stuff is super fun. All right. For the month of March, we decided to go and grab the oldest things in our stash and work with them. So that would be this paper. I'm pulling in some newer stuff that is also from my stash, but the paper is what I'm talking about here. This is very old, K & Company. I don't even think it has a year on it, but I know I purchased it in 2004. And so it's one of those things where I'm just gonna pan through the papers while I'm talking to you. I purchased it from eBay because I fell in love with some of the papers. And then I was, of course, waiting for the perfect layout to make with it. And in the meantime, my style has absolutely changed. And now I look at this and I go, oh my goodness, what on earth am I going to use it for? And you can see there's like 2 pieces of each page. Now, I will be totally honest, I do still really love this piece of paper. Although I don't necessarily think it'll work for what I'm thinking of doing today. But I think once I finish with this layout, I'm going to let go of this paper, as it really, here, let's get these together. It really isn't my style anymore. Oh my gosh, look at the glitter. And if you notice, there was glitter on like every single piece of paper from these glitter vellum pieces of butterflies. Oh boy. And then there's also some textured plaid paper, which is actually pretty cute. But once again, just not really my style. I am going to be scrapbooking one photo, and it is actually a photo of me when I was, oh gosh, probably 6 or 7 months old. This is a portrait I'm 100% sure was paid for by one set of my grandparents, because my parents did not have money for a fancy portrait thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I am going to be using a sketch I will not be showing you. It is from Heather's Crafty Life. I'm a member of her Patreon group, and this is a sketch that's part of the paid content, so I cannot share it with you, but I did want to let you know that I am in fact working with a sketch. So that sketch does include having hexagon shaped punches on it, or some sort of hexagon shape, whether it be punches of paper or mixed media or whatnot. Hexagons are a part of it, so I'm going to go ahead and get you guys put on fast forward before I do 2 things. First, if you could flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome. Second, do not forget to head on over into the description box and check out Kelly's take on using her oldest product, because I'm sure it will be awesome. All right, everyone, let's get going. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started, and basically I'm going to start by punching out hexagon shapes with my hexagon punch from all of the papers. So I am going to cut ahead from this because, it gets pretty repetitive. So I'm going to go right into what I'm doing on my background paper after a bit, and that is I am using the Shimmer's Mists in Sweetheart, Rip Van Periwinkle, and then Heidi Swap Color Shine in Seafoam, and I'm making excuse me, a triangular pattern in the upper right, lower left, and lower right corners Basically, where my hexagons are not going to be, I'm adding some mist to the background. And that was part of the sketch that, obviously, as I said in the beginning, I can't show you because it is paid content. So I want to say thank you while I'm doing this to all of those who commented about my question about the speed of the videos. And you guys pretty much said you're happy with whatever. So what I'm going to try to do is keep it around the 12 minutes. So some of the longer videos I may speed them up a bit more. Some of my shorter videos, I may go ahead and just keep at a slower speed, just to keep it around the 12-minute mark for the most part. Excuse me. All right, so I am going to do a very thin mat using this vellum piece. Now, I have to say, I don't necessarily remember if this even had a collection name so much, or even if it's all from the same collection. As I said, I bought it on eBay. I actually didn't necessarily mean to buy this much of it, but I really wanted that iris paper, which I'm not even going to use in this layout, so I think that's hilarious. It didn't work out with what I was doing a layout about or the sketch that I was following, but it was K & Company, and I know I bought it in 2004 because I started scrapbooking in 2003, 2004, and this was actually still in the box that I had received in the mail from the person whom I purchased it from, and it had my old address on it, and I have not lived in that house since 2004, so I know I purchased it back then. So that's exactly how I know. And it was still in there. Like, literally, I had to look for it. I knew sort of where it was. But yeah, I still had it in that cardboard folder that I had purchased it in. So I thought that was hilarious. So you can see I've punched out all of these shapes. And I'm just going to not exactly follow the sketch with where the shapes are going, but in general, I'm following the general direction she had on her sketch, which was basically to start in the upper part, not all the way over on the left-hand side, excuse me, but sort of left of center, and then follow it down and go towards the right. So that is the pattern I'm going to follow. At some point, I will go ahead and jump ahead because, once again, watching me glue down hexagons is a little repetitive. I am going to go ahead and have to punch out some more. Basically, I wanted to use some more of that pink because it was, even though, yes, I'm wearing blue in the photo, I did want to pull in that pink just to bring a bit of more warmth to this layout. So I did go ahead and punch out a few more of the hexagons. I will say, obviously I have no memory of this photo shoot. I did, if you can see, there is a little rub-on on the bottom there. This is a photo I had considered using as part of a gift for someone when I first started scrapbooking for my grandfather, who has since passed away. I didn't end up using it, and it was just in some things I had. For those of you who watch my videos, I've mentioned that I'm doing a bit of a reorg. I've found some things, like very old things, that I hadn't touched in years and years. And this photo was among them, and so that's why I had pulled it out, and I thought it worked quite well for this. I like how, even though this paper is what would be considered dated, by using the hexagon shape and using it with a more modern design by Heather, I'm able to give it more of a timeless look and less of oh, you obviously made this when, scrapbooking in the 2000s with that style of paper. It is a thinner paper. You'll see when I go to trim off the pieces hanging over, my background paper is also on the thinner side, so you can see the liquid glue. It dries fine. It's no big deal. I didn't add a bunch of mixed media for that particular reason because I was using a thinner cardstock. But now I am almost happy with the way this is looking. I do have one hexagon left, so I am going to go back and add that. So now I'm going to do some very minimal embellishing, I pull out this chipboard set. This is the Bliss set from Simple Stories. I have nothing of Bliss except this one chipboard set. It came in a grab bag I bought from Hip Kit, and so it does have a lot of purple and a bit of pink, which is why I wanted to get more of that pink into those background hexagons, simply because I knew I wanted to bring some pink in through the chipboard pieces. Now I also have these Bella Boulevard bows. These were a gift from my friend Colleen, and I wanted to use one of them basically to cover up that rub-on. I didn't necessarily love it, so I thought, you know, I'll just cover it up. And I also add this bird chipboard piece, and then I'm going to add, as you can see, that banner piece that I picked out as well. In the sketch, there was a horizontal strip of paper or washi, and instead I'm using this banner. I just thought that went quite well, and it brought in some more of that pink, a little bit of the black that's also in the bird, and it just worked out for me to use that as opposed to a straight piece of whatever. So I've been looking for something small that also had that pink in it, and I did find a flower, so I put that right above my little birdie. And then I went into my stash and I found these Freckle Fawn words that are in a white foam. Now, I'm just going to go with the word happy. When I do layouts that are, and I also pull up a couple of the foam hearts, or one of the foam hearts, I don't remember now, which is funny because I literally just made this layout. As I was saying, when I do portraits, I tend not to do journaling simply because it's a portrait. I may go back and write like 6 months, but that's going to be it. All right, that is my layout. Don't forget to check out Kelly's layout, and hope you guys are having a fabulous day. Bye, everyone.